taken by the truth that only for a moment I'm alive with you.
You might remember that back in the day I used to fly for Mokulele Airlines in Hawaii. Well, this month I'm island hopping again, but this time in a regional jet right here in the Bahamas to Nassau and North Eleuthera Island out of our hub in Miami. It's some of the most fun flying that I occasionally get to do, and I'm really excited to show you guys how it works and why I enjoy it so much. Founded in 1986, Executive Airlines was headquartered in Puerto Rico with a central hub providing American Eagle service out of the San Juan International Airport. Owned by American Airlines, at its height, Executive flew American Eagle ATRs to over 20 destinations all around the Caribbean. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit jealous of some of the adventurous flying that crews did back then to some of the most beautiful islands in the Caribbean. But in 2013, Executive ceased operations and the San Juan base was closed. This left Miami with some of the last American Eagle routes to islands in the Caribbean. Today marks another transition, from Embraer 145 service out of our Miami hub to Embraer 175 service in the coming months. On the Embraer 145 out of Miami, we fly to Nassau, Marsh Harbor, North Eleuthera Island, Freeport, and Georgetown. And I bid my schedule this month so that I pass through Miami on every single sequence, which is pretty awesome. Because in about a month or two, we're going to be transitioning from an all 145 operation to the Embraer 175s flying out of Miami. And they'll be going even farther to places like Martinique or Costa Rica. This month I'm scheduled to fly 7 turns to either North Eleuthera Island or Nassau from Miami. Sadly, we don't do overnights in the Bahamas and always come back to the States, but these routes are scenic and an awesome change of pace from the endless cornfields over the Midwest that I'm normally flying over. And to be honest, it reminds me of the island hopping I used to do at Mokulele Airlines in Hawaii, and I wish I could do it a little bit more often. I'll be making a separate video profiling a flight into North Eleuthera Island and the unique challenges we face flying there. For us as pilots, really not that much changes when we're flying international to the Bahamas. The captain has to submit the General Declaration Form or GENDEX to customs on arrival, and of course we have our passports, which we're required to carry throughout all of our sequences, even if we're not scheduled to fly internationally.
Runway 422, copy clearance.
Yep, runway 4244.
Envoy 422, correction, 4244, cleared to Miami International Airport via Bahama Route 49er Victor, Kinky, Slipper 7 arrival, climb and maintain 4,000, expect clearance to 5 altitude, 10 minutes after departure, squawk 4632.
Many of our Bahamas routes are flown quickly. Miami to Freeport, for instance, is less than 100 miles. That's about 20 minutes in the air, which means the flight basically feels like one long checklist with almost no time spent in cruise. I personally enjoy flights like these because they're busy and you're almost always doing something instead of just monitoring the airplane. Radar coverage is spotty in the Bahamas, and unless we're flying into Nassau, we have to cancel our IFR clearance somewhere between 2,000 and 10,000 feet. From that point on, we squawk 1200 and fly a VFR approach and traffic pattern with no ATC communication all the way to the runway. Self-announcing position reports over Unicom frequency 122.8 can be challenging because there are multiple busy, uncontrolled airports in the Bahamas that use that same frequency. For most airports besides Nassau, we also depart fully VFR and pick up our IFR clearance from Nassau Departure Control or Miami Center in the air.
As a crew, we have to deal with US Customs too, just like all of our passengers. This is actually easiest if we're coming from Nassau because we pre-clear US Customs there. We actually don't even have to go through the customs process when we get back into the United States. We can go to a normal gate, walk up into the terminal with no issues at all. But when we come from some of the smaller islands, we do have to go into the quarantined area of the airport, walk all the way to the customs area, go through a flight crew line, and that can take about 30 minutes on the end of our flight. Okay, so international flying definitely makes things a little bit more complicated, and I probably wouldn't want to deal with customs all the time, but coming down here, getting some warm weather in the winter, and escaping somewhere just brutal like Chicago or Fargo isn't so bad either.